Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is part 9 of SQL Server tutorial. In previous sessions we have discussed about functions and system defined functions. In today's session we are going to discuss about scalar functions and system defined functions. Scalar functions is nothing but it's operate on a single value and it returns single value. Whenever we use scalar function, we have to provide one input parameter. Also we will get one single value as a output value. We have some important scalar functions in SQL Server, so we are going to discuss about each function with the example. This is the absolute function where it returns an absolute number for the given number. Whatever number we provide as a input parameter, it returns the absolute number. So this is the syntax for absolute function. We have to provide one input parameter. While trying with the table, we have to provide the table column name. In real time, we will use this absolute function with the table name. So whenever we are using with the table, so we have to provide the column name here. So this is the example. We are going to use the select query and we have to provide the absolute function and we have to provide one input parameter here. So whenever you are using with the table, you have to provide the table column name. We'll switch to SQL Server and we'll see the example. Before continuing with this session, I would request you all, please subscribe to my channel and click on bell icon for notification alerts. Select, we have to use the absolute function and we can provide the number, whatever the number you want. Execute, so it will return the absolute value. Suppose I am giving one negative value. Click on execute. Even though if we provide input parameter as a negative number, we will get the absolute value only, that you will not get this negative. Okay, suppose I am using one positive number where I am doing sum here. Try to execute, so we are getting the absolute number here. Suppose what I am doing is minus 10 plus 9 I am giving. One negative number and one positive number I am providing. Click on execute. Even though if you provide the negative number, you will get the positive number. Okay, this is the absolute function where we will use in SQL Server. We'll try to use this same function with the one of our table. I have one database called demo where I have one table called product master. First we'll see the records available in this table. So I have different records here. So this absolute function we can use it on with the number only. So without number we can't use it for like string and all. We can't use the absolute function. Okay, we will implement this absolute function on price. Okay, for that select absolute function we are going to use. What we have to do is we have to provide column name here. So execute this. So we are getting all the values. Even though we have one negative number here, but here after using absolute function we are getting as a absolute number only. Like this we can use absolute function with the SQL Server. Next is round function. This function rounds a number to a specified number of decimal places. Whenever we want to round up one number, so we have to provide the specified number of decimals which we want to round off. For that we will use the round function. So this is the syntax for round function. Select round, number is the input parameter and decimals we have to provide. How many decimals we want to make it as round off, and operation is, it's a optional parameter. So I will explain you about the operation. And if you are using with the table column, that time we have to use this query. Select round, we have to provide the table column name and how many decimals we have to make it round off. So that decimals we have to provide here. This operation is anyway it's optional parameter and we have to provide the table name here. This number is mandatory field. Then decimals also mandatory field. So how many places we want to round off that number, so we have to use the number here. Next, operation is a optional parameter. If the value is 0, it rounds the result to the number of decimals. Okay, If the value is other than 0, then it truncates the result of the number of decimals. Whatever the decimals we are getting in the result, it will truncate if we are using other than 0. By default, this operation value will be 0. Even though you are not providing operation, system will treat it as 0. This is the example for round function. Select round, we are providing one number here and we are providing decimals. So next, one more example with the operation also we are using. Okay, select round, so we have to provide the number and decimals. Also we are providing operation also. So whenever you are using with the table, we have to provide the table column name, decimals and operation. We'll switch to SQL Server and we'll see the round example. To use round function, we need select query. So round function we are going to use. And we have to provide how many places we want to round off. Try to execute. So we provided 0.425, whereas we are rounding off to 2 digits. So we are getting 25.430. Suppose I am making as 1 digit. Execute now. So it's rounding off to 1 digit only. So now we will try to use operation also. By default, operation will be 0. So that time it will not truncate decimal places, only it will work on decimals only, number of decimals. Here now I am providing truncate also for by using operation. Click on execute. So now it's truncating this decimal places also. Like this we can use the truncate function. So now same round function we will use with the table also. So this is our table where we will take one product ID called 1 and we will try to round off this price. Okay. For that, what we have to do, select round off. Here we have to provide the price column name, price, and I want to round off to 2 digits, and we have to provide the table name here, that is product master, and we need product ID 1 only. For that we have to put where condition where product ID is 1. I want only one product. Try to execute, where actual value is 10.247. Execute now. So it's round off to 2 digits. You can try with the 3 digits also. Execute. It's now change. So we'll try with 1 digit. Execute. So it's rounding off to 1 digit. Now with the same round off function, we will use operation also. So I want to make it round off to 2 digits and I am using operation as 1. Execute. So it's truncating. So if we use only decimals, we are getting as 10.25. When you use it for operation, then you are getting 10.24. So that means it's truncating decimal values. So like this you can use the round function. Next is upper function. This function converts a string to uppercase. This upper function, what it will do is, whatever the input parameter we are passing as a string, it will convert into uppercase. If you are passing uppercase string, then it will not change anything. If you are passing any lowercase string, then it will convert into uppercase. This is the syntax for upper function. Select upper is the function name and we have to provide the string here. Or if you are using with the table, then you have to pass the column name as input parameter. This is the example. Select upper. We are going to provide one lowercase string so that it will convert into upper. While using with the table, we have to provide the column name as input parameter. We'll see the example for upper function. Select upper is the function name where we have to provide the string here. Whenever we are providing string as an input parameter, we have to use the single quote. Within single quote, we have to provide our string. So this is my string. I want to convert into upper. Click on execute. it's converted into uppercase. Suppose I'll try to use the uppercase letter, so that time there will not be any change. As it is, it will display because it's already uppercase string. Okay. Suppose if you are using any number, there is no issues, but there will not be any change in the output because it's already number. Okay. Now we have one table, product master. So whereas we have some lowercase letters, we want to convert all these product names with the uppercase. For that, I'm using select statement with the upper function, and I have to pass the column name. Column name is product name, and we have to call table name here. So try to execute now. So this is actual table where some lowercase product names available, whereas after using uppercase, it will convert all the product names into uppercase. Okay. Like this, we can use the upper function. Next function is its lower function. It's opposite to upper function. So whatever the input we are providing as a string, it will convert into lower case. So this is the syntax for lower function. You have to provide the input parameter as string, and when you are using with the table, then you have to provide column name as a input parameter. So this is the example. We are going to provide one uppercase string. It will convert into lower. So while using with the table, we will provide the column name here. You'll see the example. Select lower. Here we have to provide input string. That's why I'm using single quote. And I'm giving as uppercase string so that it will convert into lowercase. Click on execute. It's converting into lowercase. Suppose I'm using lower function with the input parameter also lowercase. Click on execute. There will not be any change in the output because it's already lowercase string we passed as a input parameter, so there will not be any change. Okay. Same function we will use with the table. We have product master table where this product ID 2 is having product name uppercase, so we will try to convert this into lowercase. Select star from product master where product ID is 2. So this is the actual record. We will convert this product name into lowercase. For that, we have to use lower function, and we have to pass product name as input parameter. Try to execute this one. Click on execute. So it's converted into lowercase. So like this, we can use the lower function. Next is LTRIM function. This function will remove the spaces from the left hand side of given string. What this LTRIM function will do is, whenever we are passing any parameter as a string with the left side spaces, so it will remove all the left hand side spaces and it will return as a output. Okay. So this is the syntax. Select LTRIM. So we have to pass this string here. If there is any spaces available in the left hand side, it will remove the spaces and it will give the output. Okay. When we are using with the table, we have to provide the column name for that. So this is the example. Select LTRIM is the function name, and we have to provide the string. Whenever we are passing string as a parameter, we have to use the single quote. We'll see the example on LTRIM function. Select LTRIM is the function name, and we are going to use the string as a input parameter. For that, I'm using single quotes. I'm providing some spaces. So I provided extra spaces here left hand side, and click on execute. So there is no spaces here. You can check it here. There is no space. Okay. But I'm providing space on right hand side. Click on execute. Copy the string of output. See, right hand side it's not remove the spaces because we used LTRIM. LTRIM will do only left hand side only, it will check and it will try to remove the extra spaces like this. Okay. This LTRIM function we will use with one table. This is, I have one table product master where I have one product name with the extra spaces. You can see here. We will remove this extra space from the product name. Okay. For that, this product ID is 3. This is the product name. So we will try to remove these left hand side spaces. For that, I am using LTRIM and I have to provide product name. Product name is the column name for this column. Click on execute. So it has been removed. See this? So there is no extra spaces from left side. So like this we can use the LTRIM function. Next function is RTRIM. What it will do is, it is opposite to LTRIM. So whatever the spaces available from the right hand side of given string, so it will try to remove these spaces and it will give us a output. Okay. This is the syntax for RTRIM. Select RTRIM and we have to pass input parameter as string. While using with the table, we have to pass the column name as input parameter. And this is the example. Select RTRIM, we have to provide this string. So while passing string, we have to use this single quote. Okay. While using RTRIM function with the table, then we have to use the column name here. We'll switch to SQL Server and we'll see the one example for RTRIM function. Select RTRIM is the function name, and we have to pass the string here. For that, I'm using single quotes. So I'm providing some spaces on the right side. Click on execute. So that right hand side spaces will be removed. But if we add any spaces in the left hand side, execute, so that will not be removed, because LTRIM will be used for left hand side spaces and RTRIM will be used for right hand side spaces. If you want to remove both, that time what you have to do is LTRIM you have to use, then RTRIM. Now execute. Now it is removed from both the sides. You can check it. So there is no spaces on left side and right side. Okay. So now we'll see this same function, RTRIM function, with the table. So this is the table. I have extra spaces on right hand side. You can check it here. So that is the product ID 4. Now we will implement RTRIM function on this product name. Select star from product master. This is the table and we need column name 4. So this is the product master and we need product ID 4. Execute. So this is the product name where we have right hand side spaces. We will use RTRIM function and we have to provide the column name here. While passing column name, we no need to provide single quotes. While providing only direct string value only, we have to provide the single quotes. Okay. Product name. Try to execute this. So now right hand side spaces has been removed. So like this we can use the RTRIM function with the SQL Server. In today's session we have discussed about scalar functions and we have seen some important functions with the examples. And the next session we are going to discuss about aggregate functions under system defined functions. That's it for today. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.